China's milk scandal claims more lives. IBM and Volvo forced to unionize. Two-thirds of Coca-Cola's Chinese suppliers fail audits. Dell makes cheaper computers for India and China. Welcome to Operations Asia. I'm your host, Sunny Pan, coming to you directly from our production studios in Shanghai, bringing you the latest operations news from the Asian region. In the latest product scandal in China, 54,000 infants are sick and others have died. Local stations which collect fresh milk from farmers have been blamed for adding melamine to substandard or watered-down milk. Over 22 companies have been implicated in the scandal, including New Zealand dairy giant Fonterra. Shares of Mengniu and other leading dairies have plunged more than two-thirds due to the scandal. IBM and Volvo are among the latest companies in China that plan to set up trade unions. Less than half of Fortune 500 firms in China have done so. To rectify the situation, the top unions launched a 3-month national campaign in June. In 2006, the unions made a breakthrough when Walmart, which had no unions anywhere in the world, began setting them up. Under a new agreement, Walmart employees will get 8% pay raises this year and next. The contracts introduce wage negotiations and agreements on working hours, paid vacations, and social security. Coca-Cola, a major sponsor of the Beijing Olympics, said recently two-thirds of its suppliers in China last year were not compliant with company policies on things like workers' rights and the environment. The soft drink giant said it had targets to bring errant suppliers up to standards, arguing in its 2007 sustainability report that working with them was better than cutting them off. Coke said two-thirds of its Chinese suppliers it uses for things like packaging and ingredients fail to comply with principles implemented in 2003 to promote respect for labor rights among its global business partners. Dell recently unveiled 4 low-cost computer models for China and India. The new PCs are the first Dell models designed especially for emerging markets. Dell built its U.S. business with internet and phone-based direct sales, but has added retail distribution in China and elsewhere to reach more buyers. In China, Dell computers are sold at 2,700 outlets of Guomei and Suning stores, which account for about half of Dell's Chinese sales. Dell has a total of 13,000 retail outlets worldwide. After surging to dominate world markets, China's textile industry is losing its competitive advantage. The industry is facing RMB appreciation, higher costs of fuel, electricity, and chemicals, as well as a cut in domestic tax rebates. New labor laws from January 2008 have also eaten away margins and forced manufacturers to comply with stricter regulations. Some low-end operations are moving to emerging markets such as India, Pakistan, Vietnam, and Cambodia, while other textile factories have shut down completely. Today, I'm joined by 3 guests to discuss these issues. Via video link, we're joined by Benoit Majeret, General Manager of Luke Shanghai, a textiles manufacturer that produces more than 25 million pieces of garments for export every year for customers such as Disney and Time Warner. In Hong Kong, via telephone, we are joined by Alex Angelchik, President of New Times Development. New Times is one of the largest sourcing companies in the world for apparel, handling accounts like Polo Ralph Lauren. And in Wenzhou, also via video link, we are joined by Lelio Gavasa, General Manager and Export Sales Director at Shamoon Zania, a joint venture garment manufacturer. All right, good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Sunny.
Good evening, Sunny.
To begin with, Benoit, have you been affected by rising costs in your business?
Definitely, we have seen big changes in the last 2 years due to different factors. I think, of course, the exchange rate in the US dollar and RMB has affected us by about 20% surcharge. Then we had a change in the tax rebate policy, and also the new labor law that will be implemented has raised the labor cost definitely.
All right, then what about you, Alex?
We've been affected, I think, like everyone else has. I mean, it's been difficult because there's been an increase in textiles, there's been an increase in trim costs, there's been an increase in what we call cut and make costs, packaging costs, transportation costs, and for the preceding period of a few years, the manufacturers were willing to absorb much of the increased costs so they wouldn't lose business. But it seems like this year the manufacturers could no longer absorb those costs. Additionally, there's been a lot of manufacturers who have gone out of business, so the manufacturers who have remained strong have a lot of business because they've taken on the overflow from those other companies, and they're able to call the shots more than before.
Lelio, I know your company is a little bit different. Charmoon, Xenia focuses more on high-end garments. Do you have the same problem?
Yes, of course we are facing this problem in these days, and of course it's something that we are going to facing as well next year. We apply all the requests that the government asked us to implement within this year with the new labor contract. We are increasing the cost, but the majority of the activity has been done by Charmoon IZ in the last few years. So today we are facing a cost increase, but the cost increase is not so big as for all the other Chinese companies.
But in this kind of environment, are you able to stay competitive?
Well, we had, of course, as everybody else, we have competition around the world. And on our markets, mainly in Europe and Russia, we had to remain competitive. We had no choice but to move part of our production to other Asian countries.